tabs for what I've just played are in the description. We're going to go through the whole thing together anyway. I just like to teach by doing rather than by telling you. We're also going to talk about how Jimi Hendrix changed the guitar forever, but I like to give you something practical for you to learn and understand it better. We're also going to explain why it works. There's a famous video from John Mayer that he did with PRS, where he explains that the best advice you can give guitarists is with anything you learn, try and trace back why you like the thing and what the building blocks for that thing are. So chords and scales. So that way, when you learn something, it's going to give you a deeper understanding of the guitar rather than just playing the song and memorizing it like a robot. Anytime you do that, you're going to improve as a guitarist. So that's exactly what we're going to try and do today. So let's quickly address the title of the video, how Jimi Hendrix changed the guitar forever, because he did. There are many things that he did, but for me, when I think about what he's done the most, he's taken chord progressions in Little Wing, for example, where he takes the chords, he plays the chord progression, but then he puts all these almost like solos on top of each chord. And the listener still hears the outline of the chord, but it's through all those beautiful embellishments like grace notes and double stops and playing chords with the thumb, that kind of style. I'm sure someone in the comments will say, actually, there's a guy in 1929 or whatever that did it first. I'm like, yeah, fair enough, but Jimmy kind of like made it mainstream and therefore changed the guitar forever. He influenced Stevie Ray Vaughan, John Mayer, and all those who had a massive impact on today's guitar and music in general. For example, let's take the chord progression that I played in the beginning, which is E minor, A minor, D, and G. A normal person, especially back then, would just look at that and think, whereas Jimmy took the guitar and thought, okay, that's your E minor. Then we got A. Then we got D. And we got G. That's sort of easy for us now, even though it still takes a lot of work and technique to be able to do that. But at least we've got the blueprint laid out for us, so we just need to follow a path. But imagine going and inventing that. You'd have to be the definition of a genius, someone that thinks outside the box. Okay, let's cut to the chase and learn that loop that I played at the beginning. Obviously, I came up with it, but it's heavily inspired by Bold as Love and Little Wing, as you can probably tell. As I said, the four chords are E minor, A minor, D, and G. That's the first thing to know to understand the structure of what we're going to do. So the first thing, that's just an E minor with some embellishments on top. So obviously we're in the key of E minor. We're going to use this scale. Okay. We're going to use that to do the embellishments. So we're going to play the open E string twice, palm muted, so it's not this, but. And then we've got these nice double stops. So 8 and 7 on the second and third string. And then we're going to hammer on the 9th of the third, lift it back up, and then we're going to play the 10th of the 4th string right here. And then the 9th. So far we've got. And the last bit is this 7/7 on the 3rd and 4th string. So all together. That's your E minor. Then we're going to go to the A minor. And we're going to do the thumb here twice on the 5th of the 6th string. And then we're going to do. So root chord. And the chord is 7/5/5/5. Now, here we're going to have this run, which is in E minor because that's the key. But actually, I'm thinking A minor pentatonic in this bit. Why? Because actually, all the notes of the A minor pentatonic are inside the E minor scale as well. So you can't go wrong. It just helps visualizing the A minor pentatonic for me. So we're going to do root chord. And that lick. So it's all double stops around the A minor pentatonic. So 5/5 on the 3rd and 2nd string, hammer on to 7, then lift it back up, play the double stop again, and then the 7th of the 4th string. And then the same thing, 5/5 on the 4th and 3rd string, hammer on the 7th, lift it back up, and then 7th on the 5th string. So, and also at the end, I like to slide off. So the whole thing slowly so far. Then we've got the D. It's based around this shape. We're going to do root, root, chord, 5, 7, 7, 7. Again, the 5th string is palm muted. It's up to you. It doesn't have to be palm muted. I just like to do it sometimes. Sometimes I like to play it open. So you do root, root, chord. Then we're going to do a rake up. Just super cool. Typical Stevie Ray Vaughan, John Mayer style. So we're going to do... We're going to slide from 7 to 9 on the 5th string, and then play this 7, 7 here. And then hammer on and off. From 7 to 9, back to 7, and then on the 9th of the 5th string. So all together. And again, I like to slide off. Last chord of the progression is just a G, played in this way. So thumb on the 3rd of the 6th, and then 5, 4, 3 on the 4th, 3rd and 2nd string. The reason why Jimi Hendrix played chords like that, it's because it allows you to have freedom to play grace notes and stuff with your fingers that are free, rather than doing this, where all your fingers are stuck and they can't really move. And also, this chord doesn't sound that good. It covers too many frequencies, so all the way from low to high. Whereas this, low frequency and then mid and then high. So that's kind of what happens on the piano, where you got the low octaves on the left hand and then you play the high part on the right hand. It just sounds better. We're gonna do root, root, chord, and then, so we're gonna play the chord and then put a pinky down on the 5th of the 2nd string, and then the same thing on the 3rd string. This is the pattern. Practice that with me. After that, we start again, and it's the same chords, slightly different embellishments. So this time we do palm muted, same double stop as before. I'm not going to explain it too much now, otherwise this video is going to turn into half an hour, and you got the tabs anyway. So very similar to the beginning, just different timing, and then there's going to be a variation, which is, so we're going to slide back and forth on this double stop from 7/7 to 9/9 on the 3rd and 4th string. So it sounds like this all together. Then onto the next chord, and instead of playing it with the thumb, we're going to play just the open 5th string. We're going to play the chord 7, 5, 5, 5, and now we're going to have a super cool run in A minor. Obviously, it's based around the A minor pentatonic. We're going to do, that's a blues bend, quarter of a tone, so it's very small. 8, 5, 8, 5, slide from 8 to 7, and then 5, 7, all together. Next chord is the D. Very similar to the beginning, so we're going to do root, root, chord, rake up again, drag our pick across the strings going up, slide from 7 to 9 on the 4th, and then 7 to 9 and back to 7 on the 3rd. Onto the last chord, which is a G. Root, root, chord, but then we're going to do, so that's a little slide from the 5th of the 3rd and 1st string to the 7th of the same 2 strings and back. So then we're going to do 5 on the 3rd string and 3 on the 1st, and end with the root note. So that's a G, 5th fret of the 4th string. So all together. You can finish like that, or you can just keep going. So if you want to know why I'm putting this lick on on the G is because the notes of the G chord are G, B, and D. That right there is a D, and that right there is a B. So we're just playing notes of this chord an octave higher. That's why it works so well. And obviously these two notes are right there. They're notes of the chord. I hope you can learn this and also deepen your understanding of it through what we just talked about. I would challenge you to try and put your own licks on the E. For example, you could just do, and then on the next chord you could just do, and the D. By the way, on the D, on that chord, this trick always works on the 5th string. So whenever you play a major chord, if you slide up here and then do this, it always works because they are notes of the chord. This is just an inversion of the same chord Jimi Hendrix uses all the time. So basically this is just a D. The notes of D are D, F sharp, A. If you slide up here, that's an F sharp. That's still the notes of the D chord, just in a different order. That's what an inversion is. This is the first inversion. Whenever you play a major chord on the 5th string, you can always do that. And so on. On the G, you could just do. There are so many licks that you could just come up with on the spot if you just know what the scale is, which is E minor in this case, but also you can use the A minor pentatonic. If you're new to this kind of playing, just keep it simple, just add 1 or 2 notes in your improv, but try and make an effort to deepen your understanding and take it to the next level. It would make me really happy if you did, because I know how satisfying that feels when you understand it and you come up with your own things. Anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. As I said, the tabs are in the description. If there's anything that's not clear, just comment down below. I'll reply to every single one, and I'll see you in the next video.